right, we have Benjamin Ayanian on. He is a political analyst, commentator for Young Voices. Benjamin Ayanian, a good Armenian American. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on again.
My real last name is Kachaturian. Good IAN.
Yep.
Us Armenians know who each other are. So there you go.
Yeah, good strong name.
You bet you. Okay, big news for Kamala.
Kamala.
Hi.
Hey there.
Hi, you're both together. Oh, it's good to hear you both.
All right, so Benjamin, it's the Obamas endorsing Kamala Harris, which was, I guess, expected. I don't know exactly why there was a hesitation to even get that done. Do you?
Well, the reporting, at least in the media, was that behind closed doors, the Obamas were hesitant to endorse Kamala Harris due to their belief that she wasn't the most competent individual, which who could blame them for thinking that, right? So I think there was hesitancy because they were holding out hope that maybe there would be a process that would take form that could lead to another candidate that was not Kamala Harris in the end. However, it became increasingly clear over the coming days that the Democratic machine, in some sense, was coalescing behind and around Kamala Harris and that she was going to be the nominee. So at this point, the Obamas had two choices: to sit it out and not endorse Kamala despite her being the nominee, or to get on the train and put their nominee out in the ether, and I think they just decided to play ball.
All right, so also big news yesterday, Kamala Harris was not the border czar. Gosh.
Oh,
boy,
really?
Oh, no, not at all. No.
Okay, take that back.
Just because they announced it and they've been referring to it for 4 years, they just came out. Didn't Joe Kennedy, the father of all the Kennedys, say deny, deny, deny? But with so much YouTube, how can you deny?
That's right.
She never went and talked to anybody down there. She went to El Paso and they cleaned it up. Mm-hmm. She was there about 5 minutes. I mean, it's just stunning to me. And I've got a montage of when they were calling her border czar, border czar. She's never been a border czar.
Okay.
I mean, the memo went out. That leaked. People got hold of the Democratic memo. And everybody sings off the same songbook. It's ridiculous. I remember when he announced it and he says, well, Mr. President, it's a big job, but it's important. Oh, my gosh. I don't know, Benjamin. What are you going to do? We're not that dumb. I don't think.
The gaslighting is unbelievable. The audacity to believe that the media could do this sort of bait and switch and get away with it without enough people noticing. Or maybe they just think that the relevant people won't notice, the people that they are trying to convince of one thing or another. Maybe they hope just enough people will look at the headline that, the Republicans are quote-unquote lying, that Kamala Harris was border czar. People will maybe read the headline and move on. A passive observer might not know any better. But I've got to believe that the majority of Americans understand that even the mainstream media themselves, and of course Joe Biden, were talking about how the border was Kamala Harris's project. Axios obviously even reported that she was this quote-unquote border czar for the administration. We've seen other news media provide her with the same title, and even if their dispute is that she didn't have the official title of czar of some kind, it doesn't change the fact that the media and the Biden administration for years made it incredibly clear that the border was, in a sense, her responsibility, that it was her project to lead. And so if we want to argue over semantics or what her exact title was, we're just wasting everybody's time, and the media is gaslighting the American people by focusing on, let's say, what her title was and really shoving under the rug that it was her responsibility to clean up the border. She didn't do it. She never took it seriously in the first place. I'm sure you both remember that she lied in an interview that, she said, we've been to the border, we have been to the border, and she was called out that she had never been to the border up to that point. So the level of gaslighting is unbelievable. It was her project, and she deserves to be at the center of the border debate.
Well, I mean, it's just pretty difficult when the whole thing's going to be a production. The amount of positive media here coming in the next couple of months will be shocking. And it's hard to be. You're not really running against Kamala. You're running against a tremendously well-oiled machine here. So I wouldn't be overconfident for a second on this one. It was over when Biden was Trump, going against Trump. It was over. But this is different, and you better be very careful here because close elections mean things change at 2 a.m. So that's generally how it works. I mean, I've just been through a lot of these. So anyway, we'll wait and see. Benjamin Ayanian, is Minnesota, you think, at all in play?
It's always possible that a Midwest state is in play. I would not recommend that the Trump camp get their hopes up about Minnesota. It has become a deeper blue state, at least in my time here. Trump had a chance for a moment in 2016, not so much in 2020. I don't think 2024 will be that different. I will say that there are people in my circle here. So I went to undergrad here in Minnesota and just moved back up here. I have, friends from the area who didn't vote for Trump in 2020 who now say that they will in 2024, but I don't think that they're necessarily representative of a movement in the state that's going to be large enough to make a difference. It's quite possible that I'm wrong. I'm just as of now, I don't necessarily see the state flipping.
All right, commentator for Young Voices, Benjamin Ayanian, Ayanian. How do people connect with you?
You guys can follow me on Twitter at Benjamin Ayanian. You can also follow me on Instagram at BIanian13. I tend to post all my work in both of those places.
All right, good luck to you. Thanks for being on ESPN 93.5 Sports.